Good morning. Happy Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, December 12th. So today we have some similar energy to yesterday, but it's kind of waning off. It's getting a little more silent. So the moon is still in Taurus. That is ruled by Venus in Aquarius. Venus in Aquarius is in mutual reception with Uranus in Taurus. What else? Oh, the Mars Venus opposition is still in effect, but it's like starting to move away from each other. So that's starting to kind of taper off a bit. What I find really interesting about this, so that Mercury retrograde, Mars retrograde, trine that's trying to build but won't fully make it because of Mercury stationing direct on Sunday. It's like letting out little bits of information, little bits of truth, right? Like people in that Mars retrograde state, they're realizing that maybe they've made some wrong decisions. They were manipulated into something. They were fooled into believing something. They got stuck in a situation that maybe they didn't really like very much, and they're realizing that they're on the wrong side of the story. And they're wanting to clear the air here. They're wanting to let some truth out. They're wanting to make it be known what's really going on in any given situation. This can be collectively or in your personal life. A lot of that's going to depend on your natal chart, if it's going to happen in your personal life, whether or not it's actually being aspected right now. So as we go through the day, you're going to start seeing some more like little bits of information coming out, but I don't think it's going to be really big today. That moon doesn't make any aspects. It made a sextile to Saturn like way early this morning. That's really like an opportunity to kind of get a grasp on things, maybe manipulate things a little more. But this evening, 6 o'clock? Around 6 o'clock. Yeah, around 6 o'clock Mountain Time this evening. The moon will go into an inconjunct with the sun. Now the sun rules not necessarily authority figures, but like the person at the top of the chain. Like that's the father or husband, or could be like a boss, a CEO. It's the person who rules everything. It's the god in astrology, basically. So whoever that ruling person is in your life, your personal life, that's what we're looking at here. And then the same thing goes for collectively, mayors, governors, presidents, CEOs, things of that nature. But that inconjunct is like kind of shaking things up, and it's kind of kicking more of that energy of, oh crap, I've made some bad decisions. I've got myself in a bad situation. I need to start being more honest. I need to start letting things out and being, speaking up for things, right? Because that Sagittarius energy, it's very justice oriented. It's very, the truth is the truth. The truth is black and white. If you don't like it, fix it. Like that's a Sagittarius energy. That's why there's like no filter with Sagittarius, because we just don't understand what you don't understand. You know what I mean? So it's very matter of fact kind of energy. And that little shift could lead to like later on, early in the morning, very wee hours of the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning Mountain Time, the moon conjuncts Uranus. That almost gives me this feeling of somebody realizes you can't come out in the middle of the day and say something, because there's an immediate jump on confusing that information. But if you come out in the middle of the night with this information, then the people that are tasked with confusing that information can't do that until later, like several hours later. So I almost feel like there's like this energy of waking up to something tomorrow, or if you're up in the middle of the night seeing something tonight that has more time to be out in the public and be heard. And it may come from somebody who's at the top of a ladder somewhere. So just kind of look out for that. Keep that in mind. Other than that, really today we need to stay grounded. The moon in Taurus does keep us very grounded, so we've just got to stay grounded in reality. We've got to listen to what is making us uncomfortable. Uranus is doing exactly that. It is supposed to be wakening you up. It is the Great Awakener, and what that awakening is doing is it's supposed to be making you uncomfortable. It's supposed to be making you question your values, question what you've always been taught, question why you're comfortable in this space. Dogma is a big thing with this energy, especially with that Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius is a spiritual, excuse me, very spiritual, religion-based type of energy. So there's a lot of just uncomfortable energy out here, and we've got to make sure that we're paying attention to the spaces that are making us uncomfortable. The information that's making us uncomfortable is there for a reason. It is okay to question things. You absolutely can question things, okay? Energy of the day is Eight of Pentacles. This is going back to the drawing board, readjusting. It's also staying grounded and making sure that you are staying here in reality and not allowing your wanting to be stuck in your dogma to override that and like kind of going off into Delulu land. You know, a lot of times we want to go very spiritual with, oh, this is God doing this or that or the other, rather than staying here in reality and seeing what's actually going on. Okay, and then we want to focus on the Queen of Swords. So focus on the information that's coming out, the harsh information that's coming out. Queen of Swords does not, no filter, very Sagittarian, okay? She's going to say what needs to be said. Make sure that you're listening to those hard things that are being said. Also, make sure that you're standing up for yourself as well. You're not allowing people to kind of trample over you. If you've got something to say, if you've got something to protect, make sure you're doing that. What we're avoiding is the Queen of Pentacles. Don't get too stubborn. Taurus is very stubborn energy. Don't get too comfortable. We've got to be very willing to kind of go with the flow, with the current energy. We have to be willing to listen to the truth, even when that truth is difficult and we don't like it. One of the things that I see a lot of, and I think this is a lot of the problem with here in the United States, is the idea of that can't happen here. Because we've just really gotten so comfortable with the way things are that we're willing to ignore anything that makes us uncomfortable and just say, oh no, that can't happen here. Well, it can happen here. And that mentality is exactly how it happens here. Okay, so we really got to make sure that we're paying attention and listening to what is coming out and what is making us uncomfortable. If what's coming out is immediately followed up with something to make you comfortable, but it's not making sense, pay attention to that. Bottom of the deck is the Eight of Wands. So this is a lot of stuff coming out at once, a lot of events, a lot of information. We are being bombarded with stuff right now. So it's kind of feeling overwhelming, and a lot of people are really struggling to like force a sense of normalcy as a means of escapism. So we've got to be very careful about that. Pull some clarifiers for our Eight of Pentacles. We've got Justice. And one more, please. This is like going back to the drawing board because things are balancing out, and Six of Wands. So we want to go back and readjust our work, right? That's what the retrogrades are all about anyway. Mercury retrograde, Mars retrograde. These are telling us to go backwards and figure out maybe where we missed something, where we weren't paying attention, where we need to make some adjustments, right? So that's very Eight of Pentacles energy, going back and fixing things. And the justice is all about, number one, karmic justice. It's things balancing themselves out on like a kind of like a spiritual level. Like this is just things falling into place type of justice as it's supposed to be, and finding that like joy in that celebration, and it's celebrating yourself, right? So paying attention to where you need to make adjustments can very much bring that justice and that celebration, that ability to like pat yourself on the back and say, yay, I did a good job. Definitely Make sure that you're allowing that energy to flow, and you're not, Mars retrograde in that Leo can get very egotistical and refuse to make the adjustments. Okay, don't get stuck and stubborn in that, and definitely go with the flow. Make the changes that you need to make. Allow that justice to happen. Allow that balance to happen so that you can find that celebration and victory type of energy as well. So clarifiers on our Queen of Swords. Okay, we've got strength and Four of Wands. Four of Wands, more celebration, more celebration. Also, we have another major arcana with celebration. So this is, again, things, the universe stepping in here, basically, is what I'm getting. Are the things that have been built are falling into place. It seems very fated type of energy is what it feels like. So speaking up for yourself, making sure that you're cutting people out of your life that are holding you back. This is going to bring you that celebratory energy of this Four of Wands. It's definitely got some, as long as you are not being stubborn, you are listening to your intuition, you are standing your ground, you are fixing what needs to be fixed, you're getting these two energies going on, this victory and this celebration type of energy. So again, sword is air, right? So an air is always moving. You have to be willing to move with the energy when it comes to air energy. So be willing to accept information as it comes up, and be willing to speak up for yourself when someone is interrupting your flow, okay? If someone's trying to stop you from being able to move forward, you got to be able to tell them to get out of your way. Clarifiers for our Queen of Pentacles. Three of Swords, and is that one? Page of Pentacles. Okay. Again, don't get too comfortable. Don't get too stubborn, right? Because when you don't let the changes that need to happen, what ends up happening is you end up breaking your own heart a lot of the times. Yeah, other people will break your heart as well, but you can break your own heart. You can put yourself in a state of mental anguish, basically, okay? I had a conversation yesterday about being stubborn and trying to make certain things happen against the energy that is currently working out of fear. So we want to make sure that we're not doing that. We're not being stubborn about, I have to do these things because if I don't do these things, then everything is scary, right? Trying to maintain that sense of normalcy as an escapism. That is going to backfire right now because things are collectively changing so rapidly that a lot of this, keeping things as they have been, it's not going to work ultimately, okay? So it's by doing so, by sticking your head in the sand or being stubborn and refusing to move with the energy, what you're doing is you're causing this this heartache, this very mental anguish type of energy, and you're missing out on this opportunity to learn something. You're not you're blocking your own blessings is what's happening here, is what I'm hearing. So definitely make sure that you're open to the new opportunities, you're open to the new information, you're open to making the changes that need to be made within yourself, particularly within yourself because of these retrogrades, so that you can grow and you can move forward and you can learn. Bottom of the deck here is Five of Cups. So there's a tie to the past with this. Getting justice for the past, speaking up for yourself when it comes to a situation from the past. There's probably some regrets tied to that, but sometimes we have to just accept that, yes, we maybe made mistakes and we screwed up. Holding on to that regret is not going to help anything. We learn from it and we move forward. So definitely make sure that you're listening today, you're taking in the information, you're adjusting yourself, you're adjusting your plans, and you're standing up for yourself and not allowing others to drag you back down and not getting so stubborn that you're not able to make that growth and that expansion in your life.